Hello and welcome to the challenge task walkthrough. Hopefully you've already attempted it on your own. If you haven't, you can pause the video, try it out. Or if you want to just walk through or you had questions, you can continue on. So the first thing here is to create a checkbox under the completed column. So what you would do, you can highlight this one or the entire. You can go to Insert Checkbox or Data Validation, Add Rule, and then go to Checkbox. Push Done, and then you have the checkboxes there. Next, create a drop-down of the list of employees to the person. So you can again put one here or highlight the entirety. If you put it in the one, you'll just have to copy it down. So we can go ahead and just try that. Data validation, add rule, drop down. Now, you can either go through this and copy it and paste it in and go, all the way down, paste. You can't do like a list and then have them all go through. So that would be kind of time consuming. So doing the drop down from a range and selecting this range will make the most sense. And then you can hit done. You have the people. You can copy, bring it down, paste. You can see all of those have those same people. So we created the drop down for the employees. Now in this, it then says use any method. Sort the person drop down in the list of A to Z. And so what that means is when you look at this, it's based off of the person ID, not A to Z order. So if you're looking for a specific person, it might be a little bit hard to find them because it's not really organized anyway. So the two ways you could do this. One, you could either create a filter here or just, data, sort range, A to Z. If you're doing the sort, you wouldn't want to get that top row. So sort range by column M, A to Z. And you can see that now this all is ordered by people. If you go over to this side, now it's A to Z. So this does fulfill that. I wanted to show the other option that you could do. And here, I'm just going to sort range, advanced sorting options, header row, employee ID, A to Z. This just then gets the employee IDs back. The other option you can do is you can do equal sort and then go to this range. Since we just need the people, sort column is going to be a 1 for the first column and only, and then true, comma, true. And that is in ascending order. So now we have it sorted. If you do it this way, then what you would need to do in order for this to work is you have to edit it. And then instead of this range here, you have to select this range, the sort range. And you can, of course, go lower in case there happens to be more people going in. And now you can see it's in A to Z. Done. And then here, you can choose, do you want this for all of them or just this one drop down? I'll do all of them. And now you can see A to Z, and you can kind of, Ward is at the bottom, Andy's at top. So that's kind of the two ways. You could think of another way too to get this to work, but those are the main ones we've covered. Next, use a or a some lookup functions to, I should have spelled that, to have the employee ID and department search for the name. And yours, you'll probably see that if you are downloading later. But anyway, this is to have the employee ID and department search for the person's name. So essentially what this is going for is if you put Andy here, we want the employee ID and the department to be added based off of the person. So you could either use a VLOOKUP and then have it in the two different ones to use some lookup functions, or you could use XLOOKUP. And we looked at that earlier on. It would have been in the beginner series when we did. So if you haven't, you can, work and take a look at that. What I will do is make sure that this range, since it's a table, we'll want to lock it in. And then the result range that is in the same order. So I'm just going to do both of these because it is an array function. So F4 to lock it in. If it doesn't find it, I'm just going to start, I can just do not found, just in case. So I pushed enter. Let's go ahead and bring it down. And it's saying not found because there's nothing there. So let's just make sure. Yeah, it looks like it works. So probably for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and put nothing here, just because it'll look cleaner. Because, you might have a task, then you have the people, you have the employee IDs, now the assign date. Here, add a data validation rule. So the assign date, don't know how I missed that one, column must be in the year 2024. Reject input if it's outside of that year. So you can highlight all of it. Data validation, add a rule, and we'll do date. You could say on or before, but then it would be past it. So let's go with date is not between. And even though I highlighted the entire, let's go ahead and just make it 3 so that we don't see this being an error. So date is not between, and we could say, we'll just do 12/31/2023, and we want date is between. And then last one would be 1/1/2025, because then everything in there. We said to reject the input. Hit done. Let's try it. Oh. I don't know how those checkboxes got in. Oops. Yeah. So you don't see anything here, but there should be that right here. So first, let's put in 1/1/2024, and that does work. And then 12/31/2024. Maybe just for fun, do something like 4/4/2024. Now let's make sure it doesn't work by doing 1/1/2021. And then that one did not. And then let's do 1/1/2025. That one did work. Oh, and that's because it will accept that one too. So technically, because we want to get this right, 2024. It's again 1 day that would be off, but makes sense. 1/1/2024. Done. And now since that was already there, it's not going to work. And then that one will. So that does seem like it does what we're wanting. And that'll validate that this is a date. It'll be in that format. And then it has to be in between those ones. So, if someone said like 1/2/2024, it's not going to accept that as a date. And so it won't work. That was the last one. So we just completed these tasks here. Now you'd be able to have an assigned task person, assign date, the ID, and then also choose to complete them. Now for this one with the coloring, which might be helpful with this here, that'll be a conditional formatting, which we'll get into in later lessons. But here we've completed data validation. In the next series, we'll be looking at sharing our data and spreadsheets and all the different ways you can do that, and best practices, especially if you start to actually share it with others to use. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.